Hello everyone, and welcome back to our exploration of the Colonia engineers. We've talked about Petra Almanova, Marcia Hicks, and Mel Brandon, and today... No, just cut.
What?
Yeah, no, I really don't think we should do this.
Dude, we're literally on the last engineer, and now you want to stop?
I'm sorry, the dude is a creepy old bastard who wants us to deliver him slaves.
Did someone say?
No!
Okay, before we start throwing around accusations like we're the Federation, let's have a bit of our usual chat about his background, what he does, and some of the engineers first.
Fine. If you've done any of the work in preparation for departure to Colonia or traveled through deep space already, you've likely been introduced to Etienne Dorn through Liz Ryder, and that means that you've acquired at least grade 3 access with her for the introduction to take place. According to Dorn's biography, he worked as a lead engineer for the Kraken Shield Corporation before deciding to move out to Colonia for reasons he has kept to himself. And keeping to himself is largely his MO, preferring the company of robots to humans. Which reminds me of something I wanted to bring up since the beginning of this series.
What's that?
Dorn is a shield engineer for Kraken. Marcia Hicks worked as a weapons engineer, and yet when you look at the different blueprints that they work with, they're only relatively in the same field.
Okay.
So how do you think they chose which modules they work with?
Okay, ready?
Rock,
paper,
scissors. Oh, man, fine. I guess I'll take the plasma accelerators.
Regardless of how they pick them, Dorn still prefers selling his blueprints to exclusive clientele. Dorn's grade 5 work at the time this guide was made is life support. In fact, his primary work is with core internal modules and the various scanners, though he does also work on the powerful plasma accelerators and railguns.
Wait a minute. A shut-in who insulates ships, refines targeting scanners, and powers up some of the highest damage-yielding weapons in the business? This guy's an otaku. Yeah, I don't think this is a path we want to go down. What, the potential isolationist threat part? No, I'm referring specifically to otaku. I've seen what they do to comment sections, man. It ain't pretty. That's a fair point.
Now we come to one of the most contentious points of unlocking Dorn, the goods. Dorn isn't looking for credits, potentially illegal cargo, or any of the other usual requests of the other engineers. This guy wants f***ing slaves.
Slaves? This far out in the black? Look, just because we're away from the rest of the bubble doesn't mean we should lower our standards for what we want. You know, like rum. No, I mean, where would you even get slaves from? There may be a handful of Imperial systems outside the bubble, and I seriously doubt there'd be people sent this far out unless they're in serious trouble. Like Commander Corwin.
Okay, so technically speaking, he's not looking for you to bring him slaves. He's specifically asking for 25 occupied escape pods. But it's blatantly obvious that he's intent on selling whoever is inside into slavery.
Folks, we have some very strong opinions about slavery around here. Well, first of all, Imperial slavery is not slavery, it's indentured servitude. Big difference because there are rules and everything about how you treat the servants. Secondly, slaves are an actual commodity that we buy and sell, and if that's what he was looking to get, then that's what we would be asked to bring him. So it's pretty clear this guy isn't asking for slaves. Oh well, that just makes things even more creepy.
Why's that?
Alright, think about it. Here we have a loner scientist in a huge lab filled with robots asking for occupied but not necessarily alive escape pods. This is clearly a case of science gone mad. You know he's right. Slavery isn't the only reason one might want to dabble in human trafficking.
Silent breed is people!
Guys, why do I hire these people? Occupied escape pods are normally very difficult to find since you need to locate specific signal sources or points of interest to find them. There is currently a signal source in the Luchtane system called Distress Call, which contains a damaged cargo ship. Scanning the ship with your data link scanner will reveal several escape hatches. Target and break the escape hatches with a hatch breaker limpet and have some collector limpets pick up the occupied escape pods. After a few trips in and out of the waypoint, just head to Kraken's retreat in the Los system, and you're ready to start engineering with Dorn. In the event the distress call is no longer there, escape pods can be found at various different unidentified signal sources in populated systems. Just drop in and pray to RNGesus.
How much work do you really think I'll need for my internal modules?
Well, that's kind of the point, right? I mean, we're so far off from what we consider to be civilized space, you probably need work from the engineers who are getting data from the folks in the deepest recesses of the blackest parts of space.
Thank you so much for tuning in to our series on the Colonia engineers. We hope that you find this information useful as you prepare your trip out here to the wild west of the galaxy.
After all, information is the best weapon we have against the unknown.
Well, I prefer railguns myself.
If you enjoyed our videos or if you found our information useful, we ask you to engage the like button and deploy subscription limpets.
Dude, come on. Are you seriously doing a themed interact with us on the last video of the series?
Thank you for watching, my friends. And remember,
Shoot first.
Fly fast.
and vanish into the black.
Hey, you. You're finally awake.